Should a child be on a ketogenic diet? Well, yes and no. There are many variables to this. So in this video, we're going to go over all the variables and make sure you stay until the end to choose if your child should be on a ketogenic diet. Now, before I say anything, we are on the subject of nutrition and kids, and things can get very iffy. So this is a full disclaimer that I'm not a pediatrician, I'm not a doctor of any kind, nor a nutritionist. Every single piece of information I'm providing you with in this video is based on my own very extensive research, and it is meant for your informational purposes only. Please, please, please consult with your pediatrician before making any changes to your child's diet. But who am I anyway? Well, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Talita from Shrinking with Keto, and throughout my ketogenic journey, I have lost over 190 pounds and reversed my type 2 diabetes. Now, throughout this journey, I have helped and coached plenty of people, some which have been underage, to reach their goal, and I hope to do the same for you. Now, let's start with some basic information of what the ketogenic diet actually is so we can better understand what it does to our body. The ketogenic diet is a high-fat, moderate protein, very low carbohydrate diet, usually under 20 grams of carbohydrates, that promotes a metabolic flexibility and takes our body from burning carbs for fuel to burning fat for fuel. Now, when we restrict our carbohydrate down very, very low, then our storages, our glucose storages, are completely depleted, and our body then taps into our fat storages to use for energy. Now, both glucose and ketone bodies are perfectly good fuel sources for our body. The debate around children is that since children are developing, while they're developing, would it be safe to restrict their carbohydrate count or completely omit food groups such as fruits and carbs from their diet? When a baby is born and it is rapidly developing, especially the brain, nature has given it what it believes is the perfect fuel source for its development, and that is the mom's breast milk. Now, the mom's breast milk is mainly consistent of cholesterol, saturated fats, and some protein, putting the baby in a natural state of ketosis. So it is safe to assume that if nature has put a baby into ketosis, then ketosis should not be harmful for a child's body, especially when it is first developing its brain. Unfortunately, according to Dr. Eric Berg, when a child follows the standard American diet in the United States, between the ages of 1 and 3, it consumes 12 teaspoons of sugar on a daily basis. And between the ages of 4 and 6, the whopping number of 21 teaspoons of sugar on a daily basis. Now, I believe we can all agree that that is extremely unhealthy. And the growing number of obesity and diabetes in children reflects these numbers accurately. According to Dr. John Leminski, when it comes to situations of type 2 diabetes, obesity, insulin resistance, and other medical issues in children, they have to be treated aggressively at that age in order to stop these children from taking these diseases into adulthood with them. And the best way to do this is through a restrictive and clean ketogenic diet for a protocol of 6 and maybe no more than 12 months. But before we move on any further, let me interrupt you for a second. If this is the first time you're seeing this pretty face, let's make sure it's not the last. So please go ahead and subscribe to my channel and ring that bell icon so that YouTube can let you know every single time I make a new video for you. And please feel free to ask me anything you want down in the comment section below, and I will try my best to answer every single one of your questions. So based on my extensive research, a child should have a healthy, nutrient-dense, and clean, and this is very important. Make sure that the meats and the fish, they're grass-fed, grass-finished. Make sure there's no processed foods in the mix. But they should follow a clean, ketogenic diet when it comes to reversing things like hypertension, type 2 diabetes, and insulin resistance. And also when fighting inflammation, since inflammation is the lead cause in most chronic diseases, and by reversing it, they can have a much healthier and better quality of life. The ketogenic diet is also an excellent tool for young girls in their teen years that are fighting with PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome. And in my opinion, it's a much better way to tackle PCOS than actually taking contraceptives, which is the protocol today. Not to mention that this is how the keto diet actually came to exist. It works miracles when dealing with children with epileptic episodes and seizures that medication itself has not been able to succeed. So you're probably thinking, in the case of a healthy child that has none of the above, should we just follow a standard American diet? A diet that has led to incredibly high amounts of processed foods and carbohydrates, where a child before the age of 6 has 21 teaspoons of sugar a day, where it is snacking in between meals, never giving its body a break, destroying its metabolic flexibility. I don't think so. All we need to do is look at the skyrocketing numbers of children and diseases that are highly correlated with the way they eat. Instead, for the healthy children that do not have to combat insulin resistance, obesity, type 2 diabetes, or any of the above, I suggest that they follow a low, healthy carb, nutrient-dense diet full of starchy vegetables instead of refined carbohydrates. And in order to satisfy their sweet tooth instead of the sugar that we previously mentioned, they should have seasonal fruit and honey, and adding plenty of healthy fats in their diet that their body actually needs for development. I suggest they do not have more than 3 calorie-dense and nutrient-dense meals a day in order to give their body the break it so much needs, in order to promote the metabolic flexibility that they have had since birth. And finally, let them drink a lot of water instead of the juices and the sugary sodas they're getting used to drinking. So the bottom line is that, in my opinion, unless it's a clinical necessity and it should be done for a specific time, a child should not quite be in a completely restrictive ketogenic diet where its body it's under 20 grams of carbohydrates, rather a low-carb, nutrient-dense diet full of starchy fruits and vegetables and without refined carbohydrates and sugars, in order to promote metabolic flexibility so it can grow into an adult that can burn both carbs for fuel and fat for fuel. Now, if you have gotten any value out of this video, I will kindly ask you to press the thumbs up button so this can help you to take this content and push it out to more people that need it, just like you. So there you have it. Should your child be on keto? Yes or no? The choice is yours. And as always, chin up, or you know by now, the crown slips.